According to a golf course management survey of the 20,000 golf courses in the U.S., 50% have silvery thread moss problems. 5 years ago it was 5 to 7% of the courses that had the problems. Banned mercury-based fungicides probably kept it in check. But now it is an epidemic out of control, spread by cuttings and moving from course to course. Moss is not a weed, it is a bryophyte. It doesn't have roots, it has rhizoids, which do nothing more than hold it in place. It doesn't have a vascular system, meaning it doesn't move moisture from the roots up to the top. It is ectohydric. It takes the moisture and food in through its skin, not its rhizoids. It does reproduce by spores, but that takes time. It moves much faster across your course by another method. This is what silvery thread moss looks like during the spore-producing phase. Moss on a golf green is never this long, and it takes time for it to reach this phase of reproduction. Once established, moss secretes an acid, crowding out grass as it creeps forward. This slide shows the contents of a green mower bag. There are 7 tiny freshly mowed moss pieces. None have rhizoids on them. The moss cuttings were placed between 2 glass slides with water. Moss, being ectohydric, begins to swell up and starts to send out rhizoids looking for a place to anchor. This is a tiny piece of mowed moss sprinkled on sand. The only source of water and food is through the irrigation system on the course. You can see the rhizoid spreading out and trying to anchor itself. When silvery thread moss isn't being mowed, it looks like this. The upper fronds grow off the main rib line right above the anchoring rhizoids. This drawing was done to show the moss and explain how Mossbuster works. The upper part of the moss is single-celled layered. When Mossbuster is sprayed on, the moss likes what is in it and says, "Stick to me." As it is doing this, it is altering the pH of the cell wall and desiccating the moss. The ingredients of Mossbuster are heavy and pull it down deep into the moss to the rib line, which are 5 to 7 cell layers thick. As it sits down deep in the moss, it desiccates each cell layer. This is silvery thread moss at 140x on a camera scope. The liquid is Mossbuster. This is the same moss at 140x on a camera scope, 10 minutes after spraying. You can see the moss is rupturing and oozing. This is the same moss as in the previous slides, 1 week after Mossbuster application. The moss is brown and is just like compost. You can mix divot sand and bent seed 50-50 and sprinkle it on the brown moss. Step on it and it will grow right through the moss. Brown moss does not secrete acid to deter grass growth. This slide is a picture of moss that has 8 times the labor rate of carfentrazone sprayed on it. The upper fronds are black, and when spread apart you can see green down near the rib line. The moss is black, but still secretes an acid to deter grass growth. This video, with some pictures never before seen on moss reproduction, would not be possible without special thanks to Dr. Barb Corwin at Turfgrass Diagnostics in Hallsville, Missouri, and Dr. David Minner at Iowa State University in Ames, Iowa.